T on this Talk Therapy Tuesday. I'm Tanya McLean-Nicholas, licensed marriage family therapist and owner of Renewed Hope Counseling. Here's another premarital nugget. Now that you've explored the why you have chosen your partner, it's time to explore something that causes problems in any relationship, and that is unmet expectations. Your expectation about marriage and your partner is rooted in your values. And these values dictate the roles, responsibilities, and expectations that you have of your partner and how the marital relationship will function. So let's talk a bit more about expectations. Go ahead and grab your coffee or your tea, whichever you prefer, and let's dig in. Unmet expectations leads to frustration. It's a common phrase I'm sure that you have heard. An expectation is defined as believing that something is going to happen or believing that something should be a certain way. Expectations are formed through all of our relational interactions and our experiences that we have and that we have had since the beginning of our existence, since we were little. For example, you may have experienced having dinner with your family at the dinner table growing up. And as a result, you may expect that every family does it the same. You may have witnessed certain roles that your mother or your father played in the home, and therefore may expect that all family roles are the same. Well, that may not be true, and it doesn't make them less of a family if they eat around the television or if dad stayed home versus mom working. That doesn't make the family less functional. When choosing a partner, these expectations that you have that are conscious and sometimes unconscious can become more important to you and become expected from your partner once you marry. Expectations about affection, maybe spending time together, what we communicate about, which tends to be more the bigger expectations or even the little expectations like who should pick up around the house or how you squeeze the toothpaste or how often or how we're going to go about cleaning the floor can be just as important to some. The point is that your values and your experiences can drive what you expect from your partner and what you want from your marriage. There's nothing wrong with having expectations. The problem usually occurs when the expectation is unrealistic or sometimes unspoken, which puts stress on the relationship. Expectations are usually like opinions. Everyone has one, and they don't always line up with the other person's thoughts, their values, and their concerns. That's why a couple will benefit from having open dialogue about expectations in various categories before marriage. Knowing your partner's expectations about money management, savings, investing, disciplining your children and their parent involvement, religion or communal worship and spiritual practices, home care duties like who's going to clean up, sex, affection, and intimacy, and what does celebrations and holidays look like, extended family involvement, where you want to live, or even where do you want to retire, your career, and possible career changes because nothing stays the same. Or what do we do in our alone time? Or what constitutes cheating? What are the deal breakers and the non-negotiables? And even who are the most important people in your lives and what voice will they have in your marriage? These are usually not questions or topics that couples can think of on their own. So having a person like a marriage family therapist or a guide that will help facilitate these questions with you and your partner is very beneficial. And this is the reason why. Many marriages end in divorce because of unmet expectations. Each person brings to the relationship a set of values and principles that will mirror and even differ from yours. It is important to assess whether those values, which translate into expectations, are a good fit and match for what you need, what you desire, and even deserve in a marriage. It's also important because unmet expectations in a marriage, it can lead to anger, which leads to bitterness, which ultimately could lead to contempt of one another. Contempt is fueled by long, simmering negative thoughts about your partner, creating an intense increase in conflict, which furthers more disconnection rather than reconciliation. Managing your expectations is important. Recognizing if they're realistic or even if they're unrealistic. Are they rooted in a need to control and master the other person? If so, realize you're not in control of anyone but yourself. And once you realize that, you're going to be a whole lot happier. Learning to communicate your needs and make requests, not demands, will allow your partner to listen and make a choice about responding to them. Well, that's it for today. I hope that you enjoyed your tea with T on this Talk Therapy Tuesday. I'm Tanya McLean Nicholas, and I hope that you have a great day.